Okay, so you want to get into construction, but you don't have any experience. What do you do, bro? Like, construction is a beautiful thing. Like, you go to the shopping mall, it's like, dude, someone built this. Like, this is awesome. And or provided homes for a bunch of people's families and like built the world that we live in today. Built downtown, like New York, and like all these beautiful places that have been all made possible by construction, you know? But if you don't have any experience and you want to be in this industry, it is so beautiful and it's amazing. What do you do? I got some practical tips for you. We're going to talk about the best way to actually get experience under your belt starting out, maybe how to find your first job, and what exactly you should focus on in the beginning to make sure that you're on the right trajectory. Because it's my goal to help you get ahead in this world as fast as possible and find your success in this world and be fulfilled, be happy. And if you stick with me to the end of this video, I'm going to share with you the thing that most companies are looking for when you go to start getting a job somewhere, the thing that most business owners value way more than experience. I'm Jesse Lane. If you don't know who I am, I started a construction company called J Lane Construction back when I was 22 years old. It's been over a decade now. I now coach contractors all across the world, and you can learn more about that on jesselane.com. And I'm really enjoying life at this point. You know, to have an automated construction company is an amazing thing. But where does it all start? Do you start with a job or straight into a business? Let's say you're an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, 20-year-old, 25-year-old, doesn't matter really how old you are. You could be 35, 45, 55, and you want to start a construction business. When you're older, you probably have a little bit more experience. Let's say you're younger and you don't have experience. What do? I get asked this question all the time, man. It's like, should I go get a job or should I go to university? Should I go to college? Should I like for construction management or something like that? Or should I start my own business? Like what do I do first, right? My advice to you is to get experience, because you got to know construction to be a general contractor, to be a construction business owner. You have to understand what you're doing, right? So if you really have no experience, my recommendation would be go and get an entry-level job, even if it's an intern for free. Be willing to humble yourself and not go work at the country club or to be a server there or whatever, because it pays double even if you're making $0. And if you don't want to be a server the rest of your life at a restaurant, go work for free if you have to as an intern and really get your hands dirty and learn the trades, because that experience is going to be crucial down the line because you're going to have done it with your own hands. I did that for years. When I lived in Texas from like 14 to 19 or so years old, all of it was volunteer. I learned all the construction stuff just straight up working for free for like a very long time. So there's this hurdle that you might be facing that most job descriptions require a little bit of experience. So how do you get past this, right? Well, you can go, it's a numbers game. You can go and apply to a bunch of different companies and then start calling them up, right? And just talk to a bunch of different people and offer them something different. Offer them how you are going to help them, right? How are you going to actually make their lives better while you're learning? Think of a couple of creative ways that you can get your foot in the door. Be like, bro, I'll take the trash out. I mean, I did that. I'm like, I'll take the trash out. Just let me get a job here. You know, I was like 14. It was my first job. I was like, I'll just take the trash out for $5.50 an hour. $5, you know? And then you can work your way up. If you do a great job, you can prove yourself. Be like, hey, I'm actually like a really good worker. This is awesome, right? And they value the hard work that you're putting in, and they're going to move you up to the next thing. And then it's like boom, 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 boom. Just make sure you're at the right company. The company, and it might not be the perfect fit right away, but at least you have something on your resume now. But like I was an intern for 8 months or for a year at X, Y, and Z company, and you could go maybe work for a company that has a better culture, or maybe a smaller company so you can see some of their struggles, or maybe a big company, which a big company, if you go work for, you're not gonna see all the pieces. You're not even probably gonna know the owner of the company. You know, you're gonna just be in a little box and you do one little thing. So you might want to get that corporate experience if that's what you want to do. But maybe you want to go work for a smaller to medium-sized company. You can see the sales, marketing, estimating, project management. You can see what the office manager does. You can see how the accounting stuff. You probably won't see the accounting, but you can ask questions. You know. But the most important step in this like piece of the pie is to over-deliver. You want to over-deliver for the people that you're just starting out with, because that's how you're going to get to the next step, because you deserve more than where you're currently at. So you over deliver, and that's how you get bumped up. You don't just do what's exactly required of you and expect to be bumped up to the next position. You have to be over delivering where you're qualified above your current role. And when you're applying for all these jobs, just a quick note, like something that'll really help you, go ahead and send them an email. Like I know like my Indeed thing back when I used to like kind of manage this a little bit, now my COO does that. We have a whole recruiting person too. But anyway, long story short, it's a sea of applicants, a whole ocean of applicants. It's like you got to stand out. The people that would email me, they would actually be like, oh, this person's been on my website. And maybe you could say like, hey, I like this thing on your website, a cool project you did, like whatever. Call something out that they've done in the past. Be like, okay, cool. This person actually, looked at our stuff. They know what we're about. They've seen some of our culture. They've seen some of our past projects. And now I'm getting this direct email, well-written email with good punctuation, good grammar, good spelling, everything like that. I mean, this person is the person that's probably way above everyone else. A personal email like that to the right person, amazing. And so as you're building your resume, think of it not just as job history, like you're actually building your experience list, right? And this is going to be super valuable, and it'd be best if you can stay in the construction industry if possible, because then people are going to see like this guy is really dedicated to construction. Because if people see that, be like, well, he worked here and he stayed for a good amount of time. You don't want to be jumping all around to all these different companies. What I love to see on a resume is 1 or 2 companies, maybe 3, whatever, but not like, 12 different companies that he's worked with, and he moves every 2 years. They see this pattern, like every 2 years, this guy's just jumping. I don't want to invest all this time and energy, and finally after like a year and a quarter, like, okay, cool, this is a great employee, like we've trained and everything, and then it's like, oh, they're gone because they get bored or like whatever their reason is. So show some tenure, right, at these places, but also keep it in construction, right? Don't be like on your resume, be like, I worked at the country club, or I was a server at this restaurant, whatever. Like stay in the industry that you're applying for. You really want to set your sights. If you want to do construction, then start doing it, bro. If you love it, keep doing it. Bro, even me at like 18, 19 years old, I was literally working at Chick-fil-A. Like I worked at Chick-fil-A, joke you not, when I was like 19, and it was just like, there's times in everyone's life where I also worked in construction like since I was 14, but there's just certain times where things, you get a little lost sometimes. Not that Chick-fil-A is bad, but it, wasn't who I ultimately became, but I'm thankful for it. But as you're working in the construction industry for companies, you're going to start developing relationships. And if you want to own your own business one day, these people are going to come in handy, an extreme amount of handiness. These relationships when you start your own business, if you want to. And you need to learn through this whole process. That's what this whole life thing is about, man. If you can go through and fail and then learn from that, and have mentors and have people that have been through what you've been through, be like, oh, don't step on that, step here we go, yep, walk straight, take a left, whatever they need to say. And then sometimes you're gonna fail, you're gonna make mistakes, but if you can make every failure into a learning lesson, you'll be much further ahead. And if you could also put your learning cap on, just learning construction in general, watching videos, watching books. I was learning so much. I had all the different books. I was so hungry for the knowledge of construction, so I even knew what I was even talking about, so I could call a subcontractor and be like, oh yeah, can you move the ductwork, over here with this flex line going into this main trunk? It is very important to know your stuff. And so you could get so much further in your life if you dedicate time to learn at night after you work all day and read the books or watch the YouTube videos, learn actual construction stuff. And you're going to smoke your competition, bro. The kid that's next to you, you're going to know more than him in a year than he would in 3 years or 5 years, because you put so much effort in to really get this knowledge in your brain. If you can get obsessed and go down the rabbit hole and just be obsessed with learning this, you're going to go really far, really fast. So you're getting into construction, you're finding your first, job, and you're going to get some experience. For the construction companies, just as hard as it is for them to find work, it's hard for them to find good people, good workers, right? And so make the decision for yourself right now. Like, I'm going to show up on time every day. I'm going to have a great attitude, right? I'm going to have a great character, right? At these companies, they want to hire ability, but they really want to hire character over ability, right? And so if you could just make the decision now, these are the things that you don't need to learn these things. Just make the decision that you're going to show up on time. You're going to have to show empathy. You're going to have love for people. You're going to, there's all kinds of different things. Just make the decision that you're going to be a great employee, and these people will really invest in you, which will take your career so much further than it would have gone potentially if you were a total jerk, or you didn't show up on time and you didn't put the effort in. You really really didn't have all the character traits that you should have. I hope this was helpful. I could probably keep going, but that's a great way to dip your toe into construction, understand the industry a little bit. If you have questions, make a little comment down there, and I'd love to hear from you. If you need any help with like online courses and stuff like that, definitely check out jesselane.com. I have tons of online courses for construction business people like you, and we'll see you in the next video.